So friends, welcome to this question answer session where the question will be yours and answers will be from our mentors. Our mentors are there to answer your questions. What you have to do is either you can post your question in the chat box and I will ask them on your behalf, or you can just unmute yourself and I will bring you ask you to ask the questions, but in order to have an order, it will be better if you use the menu option raise hand, so that I am aware that you want to ask a question and I ask you to ask your question in person. So now I'll move over to the questions which are already there in the chat box. So one question is, so what's the role of branch manager once account is NPA and it is gone to recovery department? Why I'm asking this question is, because once the recovery department takes over, the role of branch manager doesn't seem to be there. So I will just request our mentors to answer this question. Farid sir?
See, once the account has become NPA, it does not mean that recovery department will take care of. It is not a relay race. Though the recovery department is maybe depending upon the bank's policy or the procedure, the accounts, once the account become NPA, it is maybe they may be transferring to the recovery department, but the person who is responsible for recovery is the branch manager only, or his team. Because when you are giving the loan, you are having the rapport with the customer. You are having the goodwill with the customer. As it was discussed in the morning session, all accounts might not have become intentionally bad. There may be some difficulties. So the borrower will be willing to share those difficulties and ask for a solution from the branch manager, not from the recovery team. And whether recovery team may be putting a focused attention on it, but I don't think so. The branch manager is not having any role in the recovery. Branch manager is having the role in the recovery. Recovery is so many types. Recovery does not mean that initiation of the Surface Act only, or going to the civil suit, or going to the DRT. It's not only that. There are recovery soft measures where you can recover the amount by adopting to those measures. More importantly, the compromise settlement if the genuine cases. So the branch manager is continue to play an important role even after the account becoming NPA. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, sir.
Another question is there, sir. How to deal with, because sometimes the borrowers already know how much amount they have to deposit for that critical amount aspect. He's asking, I think, and they don't bother about bank procedure.
They don't bother about
bank procedure. They know what is the amount to be deposited to remain out of NPA, and they deposit only that much amount.
No, that's why while following up in the loans, from the day one, we have to follow up with the loans. No doubt that is the culture developed by bankers only, frankly speaking. We only taught to the customers, at least you pay this much amount, the account will not become NPA. That is the last resort. Suppose that today, see what will happen, why that type of advice being given by the bankers is, first installment has become due, we will not approach the banker for the payment. It will complete 30 days. Then second installment also, we may send a notice, we keep quiet, it completes 60 days. When the account is going to become NPA, our immediate our thought process is to keep that account away from NPA classification. That's why we are habituated. In fact, bankers are habituated to tell the banker, the customer, that you pay this much amount for this. Afterwards, we think it is a fact also. when a customer cannot pay monthly installments, can he pay all the 3 installments together on 90th day? It is not possible. That's why the best thing is to follow up an account right from the day one of overdue. In fact, that is the reason why this SMA concept has come. I can tell proudly that in Corporation Bank in 95 itself, we used to follow the A1, A2, A3 concept of loans. So today it was introduced by RBI after a long gap of 1.5 decade to 2 decades, that concept of SMA 0, 1 and 2. So friends, we should follow up with the recovery from the day one of the overdue. In fact, before becoming the due date. See, in earlier days, when we joined the bank, a due notice used to go to the party much before the due date. But today, some of the banks are following, particularly private sector banks are following, and we also started in the public sector banks nowadays. But we should start right from the before the due date, and even if it is overdue, right from the day one, we should follow it up. So this problem will not come. What I mean to say is, we only educated the customer to pay the critical amount, to keep the account NPA. That situation we should not bring.
I think, Mr. Prashant, your question regarding that SMA2 account is also covered in the answer given by Farid sir. And the another question is, at the time of credit appraisal, some of reputed customers want a large number of concessions from bank, like reduction in rate of interest compared to card rate, waiver of processing fee, etc. How to deal with such situations?
Again, credit appraisal, that day when we were talking about the branch performance, we discussed that it should be a transaction-based profit, or at least the customer-based profit, not the wholesale profit of the branch. So whenever you are dealing with the customer, see the customer, even after giving the concession, without giving concession, it is a profitable business. Today, we have to do profitable business along with the other socio-economic objectives of our functioning in the economy. So without, for the purpose of increasing the balance sheet size of the branch or volume of the business, we should not offer concessions at the cost of other customers or the bank. So any concession to be given to the customer, no doubt, every good customer or the customer who is he will tell all other banks are offering and all those things. But for that, we should assess the customer's cost benefit analysis. Then only we should offer the concessions. Otherwise, it is better to lose those preposition, because the cost of deposit is about 8% and the customer is asking us to give at a 7.95. Even that is a loss making. Suppose the customer is not asking for any concession in the processing charges, in any other charges, we are expecting that is going to cover that 0.05 and also giving the profit in the beginning itself, because we are going to get the processing charges, we may consider. But it should be a transaction or customer-based profit is required. Sometimes we may take a decision by keeping, as I told in the session, the customer lifetime value. What is the business I am going to get overall? Suppose I am going to charge a rate of interest or a concession in the processing charges. He is going to give me a current account, and the current account balance, I may expect an average balance of a considerable amount, which will cover up my this loss which I am incurring, and other benefits I am going to get. What are the other benefits from the customers? Then only we should offer. Otherwise, we should not offer concessions at the cost of other customers or the cost of the profit to the bank or branch.
Further, I will just add a few points. One is what Farid Bhai told. Second is the risk-based pricing. Nowadays, private sector banks and large public sector banks. Hello.
There is some disturbance coming. No, please continue. I have muted the fellow.
I was just saying that in addition to what Farid Bhaiji has told, that is very important, totality and the business from the party. But also there is a basic thing which every bank prescribes nowadays, which might have been there in cooperative banks also, that risk-based pricing. Now, if the risk is too much in account, you have to think about that, whether concession is warranted or not. Better we don't have such accounts where we have to only do sacrifices from day zero itself. He will be a very demanding customer later on. So earning is something where doing compromise is really a thing. You must think second time, third time, whether this business is remunerative now and in going to be in future, and whether it falls into the risk-based pricing system or not.
Oh, next question is to Sundararajan, sir. It says, please elaborate on business review meeting tips for better presentation of branch performance by branch manager.
Yeah, again, please repeat the question again.
Sir, please elaborate on tips for business review meetings for better presentation of branch performance.
See,
Performance is there, but it is to be presented properly.
Yeah,
that is what she is asking.
See, this what happens, in the business plan meeting, we become nervous. We don't talk about our strength at all. What is that I have done? That also, I just become nervous, and then after attending the meeting, I come back and then I say that no, I have forgotten to tell this, etc. That's why what I would strongly recommend is, please do a mock interview. For the interviews, you have mock interview. So mock business plan exercise itself you do. When I go, how I am going to talk? Many a time what happens, you go unprepared. So you are not able to present your thoughts in a cogent manner. So please do this exercise. They are going to ask me this one, what is that you have done? So these are all the areas I have done. In the branch wise, what is that I have done? How the business has increased. So sometimes, the business increase is only nominal amount because some bulk deposit might have gone. Some institutional deposit have gone. So I have just present it in such a way that instead of having a concentration risk of focusing on the corporates and everything, I have focused on the retail deposit. I am able to improve it, etc. So please present it in a positive manner, effective manner. What are all the good works that have been done? So my request is, you need to document it at periodical intervals. You should not now wait at like a student preparing at the 11th hour. There is a difference between a student preparing at the 11th hour and student preparing every day gradually. So document it. So open in your Excel file itself for the business plan meeting itself. What is that I have done? What is that I have done? And periodically, month-wise, you record it so that when you go and attend the meeting, you have enough raw materials to present it to them and then make your performance most impressive. Many a time branch managers do a good job, but by way of a defective presentation, they are not projecting what they have done. So do the homework well in advance. Every month you just record it in your Excel and then save it, and then when at the time of presentation you can make a thing and you can receive the kudos from the business plan team. That's how I will put it.
The next question is also directed to you only.
Yeah.
It's how to infuse positivity and motivate staff to take active interest to achieve branch targets.
See, first quality is required is you should be positive. You should be positive. See, motivation will come. Self-motivation is the best motivation. You have to motivate yourself. I told you, I have born champion, I have born to succeed, I will succeed. And then next thing is, when you deal with different people, you will find some weakness with regard to the colleagues also. Typical Indian type of management is, talk about the weakness, convert the strength into weakness. You should never do that. What you should do is, if a colleague is having weakness, you talk about his strength and convert this weakness into his strength. That is what we should do. Talk to them. Some of them will say, sir, we will never get such a deposit. Tell them that yes, efforts will definitely bring in the result. You try, you will be able to succeed. That way, give them in doses, convert them weakness into a strength. It is possible. So have a periodical meeting, once in a month, meeting with us, all the staff members. Tell them what is the role expected of them. Definitely they will contribute. Initially the results will be less, but as you go further progress, say that no, today, tomorrow you are going to become the branch manager. I am preparing you. I am planning the succession planning. That way, send the positive notes, convert them. Tell them that you are a born champion. You can do this. Give him lot of confidence, lot of scope. Ever and then, whenever you have any problem, approach me. Have an open door policy. Communicate. Definitely, it is possible, friend. It is possible. You can motivate them. You can bring them. But only thing is, you should be a positive man. You should be a motivator. You should motivate yourself and abundance of confidence. You should not be carried by his negativity. So breathe positivity, convert his negativity into a positivity. Possible.
Thank you, sir. Sandeep Sonawane, you want to ask a question? Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
I want to ask Ahmed sir, because Sajjad sir is not there.
Okay.
Sir, loan disbursed for SMA 0. Loan disbursed on 15th of March. There is a difference policy in every cooperative bank. First day will be start on 16th of April or 16th of March. For calculating
Farid sir, could you
SMA 0.
understand the question?
No. Mr. Sandeep, can you repeat the question, please?
Sir, we go to a special mention account SMA 0.
Okay.
SMA 0 is start from if we loan disburse on 15th of March.
Okay.
The EMI due on 15th of April.
Yes.
So we calculate from 16th of March or 16th of April.
It's from the due date, overdue, when it has fallen due. 30 days from
It's fallen due on 16th of April.
15th, from 15th of April only SMA classification will start.
From 15th of April, 0 to 30 count.
Yes, see 30 days from April 15th.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask Sundararajan sir. Sir, we achieve target of fixed deposit, but it is very difficult to meet target of CASA because daily transaction happen on that account.
Yeah.
Because it is not in our hand. So how can we handle it?
See, that's why I was telling you, Mr. Sonawanaji, when I was talking to you, you should be proactive, especially in deposit mobilization as well as advances. You should not be reactive. Proactive means you should provide for the contingencies. The money which is lying in the savings bank account, suppose somebody will take away 5 lakh, 10 lakh, how will I fill it up? That is why I was just telling you, like a 2020 match, what is the asking rate? When you put the asking rate, you should also provide for contingencies. We call it as a contingency. Somebody will try to take away money for his transaction. There will be some family function. So you should try to substitute it with some other person. So if the target is, say, from 50 crores in CASA, you should not attempt 50 crores. Always the branch manager, a successful branch manager, what he will do is, he will set a target not at the amount fixed by the controlling office, some 10% more, he will fix a target. If it is a 50 crore, he will set a target of 55 crores and providing for contingency. That is why you will always surpass the target. That is how you surpass the target. So you should always provide for contingencies. If the money goes away, you try to do that. Even if the money goes away, you try to explore the possibilities. From this person, money gone. But you will always try to see that, no, please, as soon as you get back the money, please come and save it with me and try to find out from others how much you can mobilize. So what is called proactive planning is what is required, not the reactive planning. Many a time what we do is we do the reactive planning. After the event is over, we'll try to take the steps. You may not succeed. Whereas if you are able to do it proactively, definitely you will succeed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now there is a question: how borrowers' social, family, financial, and security status contribute to assessment of credit proposal?
See, at the pre-sanction level, whatever you listed, those are the aspects which we look into it. At pre-sanction level, social status or family status, and also his interactions with others. That is the importance of the pre-sanction appraisal. See, due diligence, what we discussed, credit investigation, what we discussed is there is something based upon the documentary evidence, which is mandatorily told by the Reserve Bank of India. What we discussed, certain documents given by the party, that is a PAN card or otherwise Aadhaar card, and also as per depending upon the constitution of the party, which are the documents required for the partnership company and all those things. But as far as our discussions with the suppliers, our discussions with the purchasers, our discussions when we visit to their residence, and all our discussions with the family members or the neighbors or the neighbor factory owners or the laborers, all these things will give an idea about the parties' social and other activities. Definitely, they will have an impact on our recovery. If at all he is a habitual delayed payment master to the suppliers, so automatically it gives an idea to us that he is not a disciplined financial management is not a disciplined one. So it will definitely give, but they are all subjective. They cannot be quantified. It is our experience with which we observe the different customers. We have to imbibe the capability to assess his repaying. Actually, having the money and paying, there are two different things. So while doing the pre-sanction visits and all these subjective things will give an indication about the willingness to pay.
Next question is, some of the old borrowers with good repayment track record who have paid higher rate of interest earlier request for reduction in rate of interest, and sometimes we do not entertain such requests. But for new borrowers, we offer the latest rate of interest, which is much better than earlier rate of interest. How to deal with this issue as a branch manager? Because we wish to retain our old customers, but their request is rejected by central office.
Sundararajan ji, आप लेंगे question, shall I answer?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. See, many a time this happens. Who is to be blamed? As a branch manager, you should make a case. You should make a case. You should not say that. See, sometimes for want of information, the sanctioning authority is not able to take a decision, which you want. Now, you should pilot the proposal. As a branch manager, you should pilot the proposal. You can always say, I have a customer who is a time-tested customer. He has been banking with so many years, and he has in the past repaid at this rate of interest. So, as per our scoring methodology also, he deserves this interest rate. And again, what are his connections? How much of his relatives are maintaining a deposit in savings bank account, where the bank is able to earn an interest, and then his income value to the bank is much more, and he deserves the reduction in the interest rate. That way, if we make a case, definitely the controlling office will consider. It is always up to us. If you give you a fragmented information saying that no, the person was banking with us, he says he will go away and then he needs a reduction in interest rate for the new man we are given, so he also deserves. That way you cannot make a case. You should make a case how he deserves, why we should give. That way you should make the case. Definitely your controlling office will sanction. So you take into account the income value of this connection to the bank, how he was instrumental, how much connections he has introduced, how much of family deposit thing, how he has been thing, and how his credibility, how he has met all the commitments in the past. So he deserves. In the absence of it, he may go elsewhere. We may lose this connection. There will be income value of loss to this extent. If you make a case, definitely the controlling office will consider.
Here, sir, just one point I wanted to add. The sanctioning authority or the controlling office may be having difficulty in spite of this much. One point is if the customer's rating deteriorated, all other aspects are good also, the sanctioning authority may not be in a position to give the concession as it is being given to a new customer. So we should appreciate the situation under what circumstances the sanctioning authority is declining that proposal of a reduction in the rate of interest or any other concession. But as Sundararajan ji sir has told, it is our way of justification of the proposal to the concerned authority, which makes a lot of difference whether it is a sanctioning or the declining.
Next question is, there are some staff who are senior to others in the branch and they try to bully junior staff, due to which there are unpleasant situations in the branch. How can we as a branch manager deal with such staff and control such situations?
See, here I want to add, afterwards Sundararajan ji will be a better person. I will tell my one good or bad, whatever may be the experience of one staff member. He was senior most, and he's not only senior most, he was a special assistant cadre person. This is thing what I am telling is more than 25 years back it has happened with me. See, yesterday also or morning also our Dubey ji was telling about the bad practices and all. My predecessor manager, with due respect to me, is one of the best managers whom I have seen. But not only the best, he will do anything for the customer, whether it is as per rule or not a rule. So when I joined that branch, it is in West Bengal, Calcutta, in 90s, as a branch head. The practice of the branch is even the account pay checks will be created to the third party on collection. I stopped it. Then first of all, there was an uproar with the customers, and customers who are the pillars of the branch, some 10 customers stopped coming to the bank. Then the staff are also very much unhappy. This manager has come, I'm using the word south. I have gone from Andhra Pradesh to the Calcutta. So the staff starting telling that this man has come and are talking about the rules. This is only 10 days. Afterwards, nobody can implement the rules in this branch or in this area. So in my absence, that special assistant spoke a bad word, saying that this gentleman does not know. He is thinking that it is Andhra Pradesh, it is Bengal. He will not be there if you implement these rules. He will be no more. But I came to know about it. But that senior most person, when I am taking lunch, he came to the lunchroom for water. He never expected that I will call him and talk to him. I called him and asked him to sit and told him that, what did you tell in my absence? I told, sir, I don't mean that, but somebody told me this person, that person. So I got a little bit annoyed. I said that, see, that is not the point. If at all you have some problem with me, you should have come and discussed with me, but it is not expected from you to talk like this. So then that was the last, we had a discussion something. That was the last discussion we had, which was not in good taste. But the next day onwards, he was my best support in the branch for the entire period of 3 years. So talking one-to-one, that person, And also, just like that Sundararajan was telling, every person may be having a strength and weakness. We always, even you see that when you are a child in a school, if you are poor in mathematics, your father might have told you to get 35 or 40 marks and pass it. And you are very good in science, he might have asked you instead of 80 to get 95. So always we have to leverage the strength just to overcome the weakness of ourselves, even our colleagues. So somebody is having that weakness of spoiling others. You may be knowing there are different type of employees will be there. Somebody will be called as omitters. They were unintentionally do the mistakes. Such employees require your support, help, and the guidance and advice. Some will be there slippers. They cause unproductive works, but occasionally. For them, you have to caution and get the things done. Some fellows will be there transgressors. They're not only do the unproductive work and they will spoil the atmosphere and they undermine the capability and the administration of you yourself. They should be taught accordingly. But always we should talk to a person who is spoiling the atmosphere of the branch one-to-one, know his problems. Sometimes he may be having personal problems he may be bringing to the branch. By virtue of his personal problems, he is maybe spoiling the atmosphere in the branch itself. Not only the employees, even a branch managers will do like that. That's why I was telling, don't carry office to the home, home to the office. We should keep both the things away from each other. Sundararajan, please add.
Hey, Dr. Farid has answered this question very effectively. See, this fellow, why is bullying? I would go back to my joining day in Union Bank in 1972, December 29th, I joined at Coimbatore, one of the place where there is a trade union is very effective. I was appointed as a probation officer under the direct promotion quota without complying with the employees quota. At that time, 25% direct recruit, 75% promotion of the employees, lateral. That they have, management has not done it at all. I came to know subsequently, but they have. So when the union, when I started attending, they said that no, we will not allow you to report at all. Great difficulty I joined. And whenever I do, they say that you are an officer. If you do a clerical job, we will resort to lightning strike. There will be no work at all. But when I just started, no, the aggravation is such an extent. Even coffee you cannot take. The coffee boy will whisper in your eyes, don't take it because Percolax, the laxative is mixed in this coffee. And then after 6 o'clock, when the strike is there, when you switch on the light, fuse will go away because they would have kept a coin between the bulb and the holder. See, such are the aggravation to which the colleagues, but I never got this one disturbed at all. I thought, no, because even if I were a clerical staff, I might have resorted to this. So forget and forgive and go. And as Dr. Farid said, he is having some problem. Try to identify the problem. Help him to solve the problem. He will become a lifetime friend for you. Many times what we do is, we think that no, he's a spoiler. We try to shout at him and do this. We aggravate his problem more and then he will create more problem for us. Call him to the cabin. Ask him, what is the problem that you have? When many of the colleagues are doing, why you are doing like this? I will help you to solve the problem. Win his confidence. Definitely, this is a thing of the past. It will go away. Definitely you can. All problems are solvable if you adopt a right approach. This is what is we are required to do that.
Thank you, sir. So before I ask the next question, I would just like to remind the participants that the link for submitting feedback has been shared with you through chat box as well as through WhatsApp messages, but only 5 participants have so far submitted their feedback. I request you to submit your feedback also while we're going through this question answer session. And the one question is that, sir, how to assess while stock inspection of small items, name particularly industries like plastic industry and auto component manufacturer? There are a lot of small components, how to inspect the stock in such cases?
Sir, auto components, I want to say, it is very difficult to verify by the size or volume of the auto components. Auto components are such that a very small component is a very costly one, very big component is a not that costly one. So you should understand not while verifying the stock, how to verify the stock. You should understand about the stock of those particular borrowers while interacting with the borrowers, while giving the loans or a casual chit chat whenever he is coming to the branch. You should understand his business. It is rightly said that the plastics and all those things, scrap, you cannot easily value it. So, but these businesses loans may be a smaller loans only. So with that overall experience, you have to identify. Particularly auto parts, even the bigger loans, it is identifying is valuing is very, very difficult, because a small box he will open and he will say that it is a 5,000 rupees. But even then you can see approximately, suppose if he says that the box is 5,000, you are observing as a MRP on it as a 6,000 rupees, and so suppose there are 10 boxes are there, 10 into 6,000, 60,000, like that only you can do in case of this. So in other cases, they have to maintain purchase and sales. Another this thing is, in most of the cases, the people will mislead us in the by keeping the less stock and declaring in the stock statement more stock monthly for the purpose of DP, or at the end of the financial year for showing the more gross profit and also better ratios. But here also you should tactfully know that if he is having a capacity in a shop or a godown to store quantitatively 1 ton or a half ton of a particular raw material or the finished goods, whereas the closing stock or a stock statement is revealing it is equivalent to about 1 ton, where he has stored that half ton. It is a clear cut. No, it is only a little other way I'm telling. It is not going to give the perfect solution. You can put him in a delicate situation that your capacity of the godown, you told half ton, but you declared in the stock statement your closing stock of the month is 1 ton. Like that only you can verify, according to me. Sundararajan ji can add something, or Unnikrishnan ji can add.
See, actually, when you go for stock inspection, another thing, what you should do is you should interact with the production team much more than the finance team. Finance team will always try to make you comfortable by saying all the things which you like. Whereas when you talk to a production team, they will give you the thing. Many a time, if you ask a finance man about the things, are you able to get the raw material? He will say everything is received, sir. When you go to a production team and ask them, are you able to have the continuous production? He will say, sir, where, sir? We have not made the payment at all. So the supply is also not forthcoming. We are getting only a sub-quality of the raw material only. So the finance man, please do not interact with him much. When you go for inspection, interact with the production team. They will tell you all the things. And with regard to this, see, 100% stock inspection is not possible at all. That is why we go into the ABC analysis of this. High value, you'll be able to do it effectively. C category is where the small components and other things, you have to go by random checking method and other thing, and then you have to, you put it in your report itself saying that, no, with regard to C item, I have done the carried out on the random sampling basis only. That way, you can do this. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next question is, I had taken charge of branch where there are 3 officers under me. My admin is 50-year-old, but he is not interested in his work. I have to follow up with him many times to even for work like TDS statement or pending SB accounts to be opened. I have been trying to motivate him, but somehow he is not getting motivated and not taking up the job, responsibility of the job.
See, actually, some people develop a fatigue while working itself. They tend to become, they tend to become aged even though they are young. That happens in the thing. And frustration, lack of motivation. Some of the colleagues will always be there. See, under those circumstances, it is always good to take the controlling officers into confidence. Talk to the regional manager or the next controlling officer, tell him that, I am unable to, despite my best efforts of trying to motivate him, etc., I am not able to do it. This branch being a critical branch, it would be better if we can take him to the administrative and post some person who is capable of delivering and talking to them and demonstrating, saying that no, our business is getting affected. That way only that will only solve the problem. That is why you need to have a communication, and periodically, just as you are keeping a rapport with your customers, please keep a rapport with your controlling officers also, regional managers or the personnel department in charge, etc. Please don't be shy, feel shy. No, I cannot meet, he is my regional manager. Don't do that. At periodical interval, once in 6 months, once in 3 months, meet them if he is in the same center, or whenever you get an opportunity to visit, if he is in a different center, talk to him, go and meet him, make a small presentation about the branch and say the good things. And then finally, it will help me to do better. In that, you bring out this aspect also. Sir, I'm having a problem because this man is there, he is 50 years older than I, and then despite my efforts, I'm not able to do. If it will be better, if he can be taken to some of the administrative job where he need not meet the thing and there is no time-bound completion of the job is not there. Whereas in branch, we find it difficult. That way, you can have it removed. That is the best way of doing it, rather than making a complaint, rather than shouting at him, etc., building up records. Personal visit to the controlling office, requesting them to help you in effectively discharging your duties, bringing more business for the branch. Put it in the positive way. You will succeed.
Next question is, in case of certain facilities, we take stock and book debts as well as property, as well as property is mortgage. In Maharashtra state, for hypothecation and equitable mortgage, we need to pay stamp duty twice. That is on hypothecation and again for equitable. Can't these documents be incorporated in one and the stamp duty paid once? Now, this question is not very clear.
Hey, actually, please understand, both cannot be combined, because what is the nature of the charge? With regard to the stocks and debts, it is an hypothecation. Whereas with regard to the mortgage, it is a mortgage. Mortgage may be equitable by deposit of equitable mortgage by deposit of title deeds. So under those circumstances, a combined document cannot convey. So the best thing is to have it in the same way. Duty, after all, it is a duty is nothing but a stamp duty that you are paid to exchequer. Please do not do. Many institutions which have, with a thinking that they are saving the duty to the customers, landed themselves into problem. One is with regard to the proving through the court the effectiveness of the charge. Second, the stamping authorities themselves pulled up the organization, saying that you have defrauding the institution, defrauding the government. There is no short circuit here. Please do not do that. Definitely the legal department would have applied their mind. If it is possible, they would have done it. Here, no, please do that. Some customer may come and make a complaint to you, say that these are all the dues to the exchequer, so we need to pay. We have to be compliant.
But
any more questions?
But as far as the hypothecation of stock is concerned, not only hypothecation of stock, even if the borrower has been sanctioned with a term loan and all, most of the banks have designed a comprehensive hypothecation agreement so that they can save the hypothecation doing once, twice, thrice not required. But hypothecation and mortgage has to be charged, charge should be created by separate documents by paying the separate stamp duty.
Any more questions, friends? Because chat box is exhausted now. So I don't see. Yeah, there is.
So Arvindji,
Yes, sir.
I want 1 minute just for conclusion. You can afterwards you can conclude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Friends, Sundararajan ji was telling about smile. It is very, very important because when you are smiling to the customer, first, as he said, the customer is tempted to see you again. Why he is tempted to see you again is by smiling, you are giving an invitation to the customer that I am here to help you. I am here to offer you the good customer service or whatever may be. Then, as he said, it increases your face value. Chemically, I says, while you are smiling, endorphins will be released and it will be beneficial to you. It reduces your stress and makes you very happy. Besides telling this, I am going to tell one word, one acronym for this smile, which you should remember, you should practice till you are on this earth, which will be helpful is smile. What is that? Self-motivated initiative to learn and excel. Self-motivated initiative to learn and excel. It is the trainings, manuals, all those things will be there. But to make yourself successful, smile is required, which is self-motivated initiative to learn and excel. There are so many opportunities available today, either net or whatever may be. There are a lot of opportunities. So you have to put your self-efforts to learn and excel. That is what I want to share. So all my good wishes to all the participants in the coming days in their future endeavors.
Best wishes. Best wishes.
You have made the concluding speech, sir. So I thank all the participants for having joined our training program, and I'm very sure they will tell others also about their experience with us, and others will also come to attend our programs. And I thank Kamath sir for nominating people from his bank. And I'm sure this relationship will continue and prosper in future also. And I also thank Mr. Rajendra Lakera, who came from the Shri Veershav Cooperative Bank Limited. And I thank them for nominating their branch managers into this program. I also thank Mr. Daljit Dogra for having attended today's program and enlightened us with his knowledge and benefited the participants here. And also I thank, because Dubey sir is not there, I thank Dubey sir, Unnikrishnan sir, then Madam Prema Raghavan and Hargovind Sachdev sir, who took these sessions during this program and made it a resounding success. I wish you all good luck, and I'm sure all the participants will perform much, much better after having attended this program. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Namaskar. We come to the end of this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.